Welcome everyone to the iconic Gilles-Villeneuve in Montreal, where we will kick off the 2024-2025 Formula Hololive International season for Split B here in Circuit Gilles-Villeneuve here in Montreal. So before it's 3 p.m. here in the heart of Quebec, and of course the excitement is palpable for the 14 drivers involved as they are going to be set to battle it out on this legendary track. Of course, we're racing here in Split B, and they just can't wait to get this race started. After 2 hours of delay, we're finally here and we're finally ready to race. So anyways, let's take a look into the track map. We got the circuit known for it, but first we need to really adjust this thing. We're not actually going to show Young now, we're actually going to show Montreal. So we're going to need to take some time to adjust the graphics here. So apologies here for the incorrect graphics. But anyways, with that being said, it is a track, Gilles-Villeneuve, a track that has seen Formula 1 races, similar to Yeongnam that we have hosted around 14 hours ago. And just wanted to give you all a bit of confirmation on what Circuit Gilles-Villeneuve looks like. It's not going to look like this because that looks like the Korea circuit. It's actually going to look like this. Here it is. It's way better. So anyways, this is Circuit Gilles-Villeneuve. We're looking at a track 4.38 kilometers in length, as well as 10 corners. We've got 47 laps of racing ahead of us here in this Canadian racetrack. Our target lap time of 1:24.957 is on the cards. Of course, we've had target lap time at Yeongnam that was beaten. And then we got this track named after the Formula 1 legend Gilles Villeneuve. Of course, he was very rapid, put his car on the edge or way above the edge sometimes. And of course, we'll talk about that in the moment's time. 1 or 2 races of the first round of Formula Hololive 24-25 for the race at Yeongnam. It's now Split B drivers' turn to race at Montreal. This is of course one of 2 races of the season opening weekend of the 2024-25 Formula Hololive International season. So let's take a look into the basically the split guide here. We are now going to race the next 14 drivers in Formula Hololive International here in Split B. Zeke Wimberly and Corey Mendez make up the first of the 2 drivers involved. Corey Mendez, of course, won the Indy Grand Prix finale last time out at the 23-24 Formula Hololive International season. Zeke Wimberly came in 1 position, 2 positions, 3 positions short of winning the title. But of course, have won second best. Of course, he is now holds the record for the winningest driver in Formula Hololive and Formula Hololive International. So he wants to build up on this achievement by being more consistent this time. Ahmed El-Ashor, 4th place, or at third in the rankings for Split B. Of course, although everyone here is actually at 0 points, he is had a pretty decent season for Kyle Balsa, replacing Monica Shalage. And then we have Nara Santiago, who's won an invitational race in the 2024 Captain Ramon Grand Prix Split C race alongside Sven Jensen, who won the Split B race. Rafael Oliveira is looking to grab his first win in Formula Hololive International for the Moroccans and Cavolia Rene. We also have Javier Luspi and Don Ellis looking to make their marks for Zeta and Oli respectively. Inoshitayo is the last driver who have raced full-time, last driver in the rankings have raced full-time in Formula Hololive International. She's looking to get things going. And of course, we are going to be looking at 3 drivers who will make their full-time debuts in Formula Hololive International: Mama Shazan Reza, Chanel Markman, and Nikki Chen representing Koseki Biju. We have Fuawa Mokoko Bisgar and Fuawa Bisgar respectively. They will be racing full-time. They will compete in all 12 races. As for Tyler Williams and Alcern Tarao, who will be representing Elizabeth Rose Black Flame and Gigi Murray respectively, they'll be racing as part-time entrants because they are not listed as full-time entrants here, as they are actually full-time drivers for Kanata and Akai respectively. For their cases, we'd like to see them perform whatever the case before they will be replaced by other full-time drivers that will be coming up soon. So with that being said, we're going to get into this qualifying session. I'm Mohammad Shazan Reza in the commentary booth, and apologies if I have to do whisper commentary, especially given the circumstances, because I'm currently in a quiet zone on a pretty unavoidable circumstance as to why I'm located here. I won't be telling you the details, but I'm here anyways. But at the very least, I am streaming on the same day as everyone will be hoping that I will be streaming. Of course, it was 2 hours late, but better late than never. But anyways, let's get this qualifying session underway with Tyler Williams finally getting out on track for Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame. Nice to see the afternoon here in Montreal, absolutely shining out on the drivers. After what what these 14 drivers have what these 14 drivers saw against the other drivers in the split A race at Yeongnam, where there was a literal amount of carnage. There was contact, there was collisions. More than half of the field has essentially retired. So it's now up to Tyler Williams and of course the other 13 drivers to essentially keep the cars in a pretty safe position. Don't brake too late in the corners, keep their tires managed. Of course, they are also expected to run through the entire race without making a single pit stop. It's going to be a straight sprint this race. So it is something that they are essentially taking note. The Split B drivers. And now we're looking at the other drivers. Of course, we have Hinoshi Tayu, who has had a very, very miserable season in the last Formula Hololive International season, where she unfortunately has missed out on a lot of points opportunities. And when she was in the points opportunity, she wasn't even able to get into the top 10. But whatever the case, let's get into Hinoshi Tayu for an onboard of a lap here in Circuit Gilles-Villeneuve. You can see here coming into the final chicane here, turns 12 and 13. For her to start the lap here. A pretty short run coming into the first two corner. Coming to turn 1, left-hander, and then coming into Viraj Senna in turn 2. And now a bit of a easy on the acceleration exiting turn 2 here as it's a pretty long corner. And coming to turns 3 and 4, Ponte la Concho, turn 3 and 4, and then got turn 5 here coming up, and then brake at after around the 75-meter mark at turn 6. You can go flat out just about in turn 7, but you can see here Hinoshi Tayu absolutely lifted the corner for her to get a pretty good exit coming into this next back straight, coming into turns 8 and 9. Taking it easy once again, though she really is not interested in touching the curbs. And now coming into Le Pingle, which is in turn 10, slowest corner in Montreal. First gear for the Indonesian driver. And now she's coming into turn 11. Droit du Casino, the casino straight as it is in English. Long back straight here, nearly a kilometer long. She's able to really stretch the car to 280 kilometers an hour at the end of it. Brake pretty cautiously into the final chicane to the wall of champions, where these drivers are taking it easy on their car. They don't want to repeat the same mistakes as their Split A brethren and sisters have done at Yeongnam. Anyways, I would love to hear your comments in the chat, live chat, everyone. Hopefully I'm able to hear what you guys are thinking of this qualifying session so far. And again, I apologize for this whisper commentary, as I have to tone down the voice. It's actually 3 a.m. here where I'm actually commentating. So please bear with me on this whole commentary thing. So anyways, we got a few of the front runners here. We got Mohammad Reza, of course, fresh off of his run in the Hololive GT3 for him and Mario Luna last weekend in the Sepang 400. Of course, that race was disappointing in many regards for Shazrin. Only qualified as high as 17th, and then was the victim of a pit stop mishap where he was under fuel at the start and had to pit 2 times, losing a lot of time in the pit lane in the process, and he ended up finishing outside the points in 16th, and at the same time he had to watch his championship rival and Subaru teammate Rim Algor take the win, building a 250 point gap between himself and 250 point gap between Algor and Shazrin Reza. Of course, Shazrin Reza is really hoping to win the Hololive GT3 title for him and Mario Luna before he switches 100% to Koseki Biju, or which he actually has switched 100% to Koseki Biju full time. It's just that Mohammad Reza is currently on a revenge tour here. Now 106.026 is not really lap time breaking territory here as far as the lap time targets go. But he's getting close here, as he is now about 0.02 of a second faster than Zeke Wimberly. Currently in second place, who of course, as we mentioned before, had missed out on the 23-24 Formula Hall International title by a few positions, where he was required to win in Indianapolis when, as it was out of the points. He wasn't able to capitalize on the opportunity. And there he is right now, currently down in second place in the 23-24 Formula Hall International standings. And this is where he is right now in this qualifying session. If he doesn't improve on his time, then he's currently in second place. Another good. But speaking of the devil, 33-123 for Zeke Wimberly in the first sector, or was that the second sector? But anyways, we are seeing improvements. Dawn Elise, on the other hand, has moved up to 4th place with her great qualifying run for Crazy Ollie. Highest ID class car right now. Sven Jensen now up into 10th place. Rafael Oliveira down in 13th. Meanwhile, we got De Oliveira not looking to bring anytime soon. And then we have Zeke Wimberly, who's about to cross the line. Already the fastest by the first 2 sectors. Now coming across the finish line, Javier Luzmi improved to get himself up into 5th place. Now into the start finish line, he hasn't been able to beat Mohammad Shazrin Reza by 8/1000ths of a second. This has been a very, very quick qualifying session. And by quick, I mean close as far as the 2 leading drivers are. We got the driver who is leading the Formula Hololive International and Formula Hololive overall wins record with 3 and 4 respectively. 3 for Teres Fauna, 1 for Camimio. While Reza sits at 3 right now with 3 wins for Himori Luna in Formula Hololive Japan. 33-137 for Zeke Wimberly there. Will he see any improvement? Will he coming into these next sectors? He's doing okay there, exiting turns 8 and 9, and now coming into Lepingle. Really hounding that car, really pushing that extra bit of time. And as you can see here, he's now gained about 800ths of a second against Mohammad Reza, who's currently in the pit lane. He's not looking to make a response anytime soon. Bolts into the final chicane, which this is where he's somewhat struggling. Will he be able to get a good run? Looks like it was a good run there for Zeke Wimberly. And that is going to be the case for his driver to crack into the sub 125s. Beats Mohammad Reza's time by having a 300th of a second of a lap faster. This will push Reza down in second. We're looking at Bernardo Santiago, who's continuing to put up a decent performance for the teammates. And then we have Don Elise, highest ID class driver, who's currently in 4th for Crazy Ollie. The wager goes that if Don Elise for Crazy Ollie wins a Formula Hall International race, I will tag Crazy Ollie in the Adak-RMS account on Twitter. That is if she actually wins a race, Don Ellis and Crazy Ollie. I'm not supposed to do that because most of the times I'm just going to ignore the message. But Ollie is probably not going to be the case, but whatever. Anyways, we still got 5 minutes to qualifying left to go. As you can see here, Alice really trying to find some time here, but she is slower than Wimberly by 6/10 of a second. It's much closer here in Montreal as far as lap times go in qualifying because of the shorter track. But to see only 8 drivers come close to Zeke Wimberly's pole time, by close I mean 1 second within Wimberley's full time really says something. Meanwhile, we got Chanel Markman continuing to improve. He's now up into 9th, well 8th, but before Ahmed El Ashov, an amazing lap to put his car, the Kyla Kowalski at number 58, up into 3rd. Very, very amazing stuff. Look, I really, really want to use more of my voice, but you know I just cannot. It's literally nighttime and everyone is sleeping, so I have to absolutely keep the voice down. Apologies again if I have to keep the voice down. I'm gonna have to write this on the live chat, as Amir Al-Short sets a 0.2 of a second slow on the first sector. Anyways, El-Ashor currently exiting turn 10 with the slight kink at turn 11. And you can see he has actually improved there. He's now set a 0.2 of a second slower of a lap than the pole sitter. If he can gain something on the final sector, then he should be able to find some gains. Anyway, Shazin Reza is now outside, looking to make his run. Will Shazin Reza have a response against Zeke Wimberley? And now coming out in the exit of turn 7, as you can see, Shazin Reza is now slower than Wimberley on the first sector. The setup adjustments have not been friendly to Shazrin. Anyway, Shazrin is just going to continue on his progress. And here in Circuit Gilles-Villeneuve, as you can see here, he isn't going to improve anytime soon. Only a 1.0.814 on the second sector. You know the funny story here? We got interesting driver rides to look at. We got Shadon Reza, who's representing Koseki Bizu, and Nichi Michan, who's currently in 14th, and Chanel Markman 9th for Fuawa and Mokoka Bizgar, respectively. Both of them part of Hololive Advent. For Fuamoko, they will be debuting their live 3D outfits in the next few hours. Yeah, I would give an estimate maybe 8 more hours. So interesting stuff here for the Fuamoko sibling combination. And I expect the bright uniforms to be revealed on the Advent 3D collab stream. Anyways, back onto the racing situation here. Shadreza isn't going to find any improvements anytime soon. And as for the guest entrants, Tyler Williams and Alston Tanrau, they're currently in 7th and 10th respectively. Tyler Williams, of course, now sports a red helmet for his Elizabeth Rose Blood Flame Bride. Very, very synergetic between the helmet design and the car design. And then we also have Alston Tara, who just brought in his usual helmet, this time slapping in the GG Marine decals on the side of the helmet. Okay, for this ride, it's going to be Antanarov for the first 6 races of Formula Hololive International for the 24-25 season before Hugh Tassano takes the ride full time following Minato Aqua's graduation announcement. Final minute of qualifying, as we are seeing a bit of a surprise as Javier Luzmi manages to get himself up into 4th place in the Vestas 03. It's very funny because Luzmi and Santiago represent Vesta Zeta and Watson Amelia respectively, as Santiago will be starting his qualifying lap now. Anyways, both Zeta and Ame actually participated in Hachama's birthday live that was hosted earlier last night, where both of them had been using the bright uniforms alongside Akai Hato. Santiago is looking to find some improvements as Shadreza isn't able to find any. Qualifying session has finally come to an end. And Bernardo Santiago is going to try to find something, but he isn't able to find something on that first sector. Very, very unfortunate so far for the teammate, as he's going to try to find something at turn 9, and now coming into La Pingle in this hairpin. Of course, it's also called La Pingle. As Yuri Rafael de Oliveira continues to go up the lap time charts of his final qualifying run, he's now up into 6th place. The Brazilian driver is looking good. Meanwhile, Bernardo Santiago, last driver to cross the line. As you can see here, Bernardo Santiago is about to get something out, but I don't think he should be able to challenge any positions for going forward. The answer is going to be no. Santiago does not find any improvements. It's going to be Zeke Wimberly taking yet another pole position for the Saplings and for Sarasvana. So that being said, let's cut to the chase. Let's take our look into the starting lineup here for the Montreal Super Prix Split B race. So here we have Zeke Wimberly for Sarasvana and the Saplings starting on the front position, the pole position, and he will be lining up alongside Mohammad Shadran Reza, his technical brother-in-arms for Koseki Biju, at least in Hololive English, as he is looking to try to bring the Pebbles their first win in aero competitions alongside Koseki Biju. Ahmed El Ashor is the fastest ID class car currently in the race at 3rd place. Bernardo Santiago 4th for Watson Amelia. Actually scratched that. He does find a lap time, find a position to gain, and he currently qualifies 4th. 5th place goes to Javier Lusby in the Vespa Zeta 03 alongside Rafael de Oliveira. 6th for Pamfolio Rene. Don Ellis starts 7th for Crazy Ollie, making it an ID class 3, 5, 6, 7. Alongside him is Tyler Williams for Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame. 9th place goes to Corey Rico Mendez for Takanashi Kiara, and running out of the top 10 is Chanel Markman in the number 52 Mokoko Biscard car. 11th place, the Lotus Santana for Gigi Marin with Sven Jensen. 12th for Iris. 13th place goes to Hoshinova Muna's Hino Chitayo, alongside Nichimichan. 14th, last on the grid, representing Fuawa Biscard. So as for race predictions coming into this, well, I can't really predict anything other than a great race and some very, very tough tussles. As we're about to get the start finally underway, we're gonna line up the cameras for the start. We have Zeke Wimberly lining up on pole position alongside Mama Reza in 2nd place. We got the Montreal Super Prix about to get underway here in Split B. As we mentioned here, 14 drivers lining up on the grid for them to start their campaigns in Formula Hololive International. And it's going to be Zeke Wimberly, who's having a very, very great launch here. Now coming into turn 2, or rather turn 1 that is. Oh, there's been a contact between Shadran Reza and Ella Shore. Right now everyone is able to get themselves exiting turn 2 scot-free, but now it's going to be Zeke Wimberly taking over this race lead over Mama Shadran Reza, who is currently defending against Ahmed El Ashor. Rusby is currently on the hunt against El Ashor for 3rd place. Ellis 5th, Santiago 6th, De Oliveira 7th, Corey Rico Mendez in 8th. You can see, speaking of Corey Rico Mendez, making a move against Rafael De Oliveira right now. Tyler Williams 9th, and Chanel Markman riding out of top 10. We got a nice first lap here in Montreal, as you can see here, and that is your Rafael de Oliveira. He's made contact, he's trying to reverse, and there's contact, and collects Sven Jensen. Oh, that's pandemonium here. There's so much damage here for your Rafael de Oliveira. Absolute heartbreak for the Maratya driver. Meanwhile, we have Javier Lusby and Emmanuel Ashore on the attack. Unfortunate for De Oliveira, misery even, as he is now currently out of the race and out of the standings. He's not going to be even classified into the standings any further. We got lap 2 underway, with Wimberly now having a 0.5 second of a lead against Mohammad Shadran Reza. Of course, we talked about Shadran before in this stream about how he's hungry to get revenge, but he's not looking to get revenge actually in Formula Hololive International, as he's still got something in Hololive GT3 left. Of course, he wants to save the energy for those moments, but that doesn't stop Charles and Reza from hounding Zeke Wimberley for position. As you can see here, Stratton really trying to make use of those exits and the slipstream, while Wimberley has to have some clean air, and he will be seeing some benefits in the corners. And you can see here Zeke Wimberley, going off wide and nearly pushing Stratton Reza off. You got a side-by-side battle between Ella Shore and Lusby here that is currently developing. And the inside goes Javier Lusby, and around the outside goes Ahmed El Ashor. We have Corey Mendes now side by side with Bernardo Santiago, I think. We will have Atayo and Antara going side by side for the battle for 10th place. The biggest loser from the toss-up against Rafael de Oliveira and the rest of the grid is Van Jensen, who is currently down in 13th place. Not what the aristocrats are looking for. Let's take a look into the rocket stars once again. Well, of course, have only lost one position, but he's absolutely gutted that he's lost a lot of time. As you saw here, you can see Wimberley have scored the fastest lap of the race so far, which is good stuff for all the saplings watching. Meanwhile, looking at the rest of the development here for the drivers, we might be seeing some close-up battles between Elise and El Ashor for 4th place. Meanwhile, as Wimberley continues to pull away against Shazrin Reza, is gonna try his best to find something against against Zeke Wimberley, and he cannot rely on pit stops for this one, as it's just gonna be a straight up race. There has been a slight modification to the fuel tanks. Of course, there's still enough in the fuel tank for everyone to continue the race, and of course, those rule changes cannot be applied in the middle of round 1. As the Yeongnam Super Parade has concluded before the Montreal Super Parade has started. Meanwhile, Javier Lusby now sets the fastest lap, 1:27.378 for the Uruguayan driver. As you can see here, Wimberley now pulls away. And then we have Corey Mendes and Bernardo Santiago battling out for 6th place here. Mendes now on the inside against Santiago. Santiago's now around the outside, really trying to make himself work here. Almost there, Santiago, but has been beaten by Corey Mendes. And now we have Santiago currently trying to chase Corey Mendes, but he's still too far back. You can see Corey Mendes trying to mount a charge against Don Elise, as Elise is also going to be trying to find an opportunity against El Ashor for 4th place. And down the inside there goes Corey Mendes here. That was an amazing dive bomb move, but will he be able to make it stick? Round the inside against Elise. You can see here Mendes is currently in a favorable position. Bernardo Santiago was going to try to take the scraps here, so I think it will move down the outside. And Santiago is going to make a dive bomb down the inside against Elise, but not before Elise has anything to say about it, as she continues her assault against Corey Mendes. And no, it's not that kind of assault. Anyways, Elise now hangs around the outside to defend against Corey Mendes. He's going to have a pretty good exit off of turn 2, coming into turn 3, and now coming to turns 4 and 5 chicane. On the hunt here, Santiago, who's looking to find some positions. Corey Mendes is now up into 5th place. That's been an amazing few laps from him so far. Shows to everyone why he is the KFP to be inside these cars. And you can see here by the rear wing setup, he's absolutely set up for the corners. Meanwhile, Zeke Wimberley who's already pulled away against Shadow Reza. The gap's now at 3.4 seconds. Shadow Reza now has to defend against Looseby. If I want to talk about Looseby, he is an absolute veteran. He's maybe aged by quite some distance. I cannot really confirm the details on the aging part. It could be 20, could be 30, could be 40, but that doesn't really matter. If you're in a race car, all you need to do is to just wheel the car in the right position. And I've seen drivers in the 40s and 50s still pull up with some heroics. See Fernando Alonso, Gabriel Tarquini. But anyways, now we have Corey Rica Mendes now up into 4th place with an absolute charge here. We apologize for the lack of overtaking cameras on Corey Rica Mendes, but he's now up into 4th place. What is the proper start look like for Mendes? He started at 9, he's now up into 4th. He's showing a lot of racecraft right now, but we worry that the tire wear will be far too severe. Friendly reminder for everyone watching in the stream so far, if you are liking the stream, please leave a like. And if you want to see more Hololive racing content, we got the Formula Hololive Japan's Suyozaku Cup Round 2, which is overall Round 7 of the season. The Autopolis Super Prix that is going to be held next weekend. Hopefully everyone is here to also tune in to the racing action. And now we see here Looseby really trying to get close here to Shadow Reza with a possible dive on down the inside, but he's just not close enough. But Looseby, on the other hand, has the slipstream exiting the hairpin and now coming into turns 12 and 13, the final chicane. Shadow Reza has to force himself on a defensive, but not before Javier Looseby finally takes 2nd place. Zeke Wimberley with the fast lap of the race so far, 127.334. But watch out for Corey Rica Mendes as he's now essentially unleashed 127.890, fastest lap out of anyone so far. And he's chasing Shadow Reza. He's chasing Javier Looseby. He's also going to be chasing Zeke Wimberley if he has the car. The Saplings have seen their ride take 3 wins in Formula Hololive International, but not the title in 23-24. Sarasvana, a calming woman that soothes the hearts of many with her nature calls and her very soft-spoken demeanor. Of course, that's the pulling point for Fauna, not to mention her body as well. Ooh, very, very inspiring. Anyway, Zeke Wimberley, when he came into the Sarasvana seat, he knew that he's going to be meeting very unrealistic expectations, because if he doesn't perform pretty well, as in finishing inside the top 5 or top 10, he is going to probably get attacked by the Saplings. But overall, as he's doing a very good job by keeping the Saplings patient, as he continues to set fastest lap after fastest lap, 127.288 for the Sarasvana driver. You all have Don Elise and Tyler Williams now side by side here. Tyler Williams is going to be ready to attack once again, coming into turn 1. Williams is probably going to be thinking of a switchback, but he's too far back. Don Elise with a slipstream move coming into turn 12 and 13. The previous lap makes her move down the inside against Tyler Williams. And now the Visuali driver is now up in 7th place. Shadow Reza keeping himself in tabs against Javier Looseby. We got viewers tuning in. Welcome everyone to the Adak-RMS organization channel. We're watching the Montreal Super Prix Split B race of the round 1 of the 2024-2025 Formula Hololive International season. Hopefully everyone is enjoying their stuff. As you can see here, Javier Looseby going very, very hot in the corner. And now Shadow Reza is going to try to seize the opportunity, but he is just not close enough as far as the slipstream goes. Not effective enough. He's not going to be making any moves at this point. Zeke Wimberley is going to cross the line to start lap 9. 8 laps complete. here in Circuit Gilles-Villeneuve. We can see here Sheldon Reza has now picked himself back up. He's essentially saving the tank for much later in the race, as compared to Wimberley and Lusby, who's going to be using their eggs in the early stages of the race. Very easy in the corners, no risk taken so far for the drivers, as they're all looking to stay away from curbs. Oh, you can see here Lusby was in all sorts of shit and all sorts of uncomfortable, if you want to call it that. But anyways, Sheldon Reza, in his first full season for Koseki Bijou, he might be asking, what is the expectation? Just be there, just fill up the grid. He's probably not going to be looking at that, given his performance for Himamori Luna. So far, he's going to be thinking of move down the inside. He had to lift off. If you look at the radar on the bottom right to show you how close it was close, nearly a collision there, but Sheldon manages to keep the car better in control as there's more balance here. Now it's Santiago and El Ashore. You can see El Ashore now around the outside of turn 11 with the Guatemala driver of Bernardo Santiago trying to defend around the inside, but will he have enough? They're still neck and neck. Side by side, those two drivers are going, and it looks to me that Santiago is able to defend. Rico Mendes continues to pull away against Santiago. He's looking to chase Sheldon Reza right now, but the gap's now at 8.1 seconds. Meanwhile, we have Sheldon Reza now really catching up there on to Lusby, who's currently running second, the highest ID class car. You can see here the tire wear really starting to kick in for these drivers. Zeke Wimberley, just want to check how the tire wear works for him, because I just want to compare the characteristics here of Montreal to Yeongnam. The rears are not being used a lot, but the fronts are. So watch out for some tire wear. As you can see, Sheldon is now down the inside of Javier Lusby, trying to attack Lusby back, trying to repay the favor almost between this young Malaysian driver who has won the 2023 Formula Hololive Japan title and most likely probable savvy veteran of Lusby. And you can see here both really trying to stretch their cars for as much as they can. And now around the outside of turn 1, but it's going to be the inside line. It's turn 2, well positioned there. Sheldon Reza against Lusby, but Lusby is just not going to give up. They're already at half of the lap. They already spent half a lap now alongside, but this could be the move that seals it, as Sheldon Reza still hangs around the inside to finally end this move. Sheldon Reza goes back into second, but not before Javier Lusby attacks once again. Okay, this time Sheldon Reza is able to stay ahead. But will it be for long? Lusby, a very good launch here off of turn 8 and 9. They go right now. They're still side by side. At this point, at this rate, they're going to be side by side for about the entirety of the lap. Sheldon Reza now again is going to try to hang on to second place here, but he should be able to do so. The gaps, though, on the other hand, say it's around only 0.4 of a second. Well, I think it should be enough for Lusby to try to chase Sheldon Reza at the back straight. Look at how fast Lusby's closing in. Is he thinking of a move down the inside? He almost braked into Sheldon Reza, broke too late, almost making contact against Sheldon Reza. But yeah, at least he's able to continue. Both of them are able to keep themselves away from each other. And Sheldon Reza now sets the fastest start of the race, 1:27.148. Sheldon Reza is now catching Zeke Wimberley, Ella Shore, and Tyler Williams going side by side. The ID Class's red car and Ian Class's red car now on a battle of their own. The blacksmith faces the night. cars who started this race. 13 cars remaining. Rafael de Oliveira was of course involved on a first lap collision, which puts his race to an end prematurely. Very unfortunate for the Brazilian driver, who had been touted as one of the few ones to watch. Meanwhile, we got Lusby, who is slowly losing touch still to Shazrin Reza. Oh, really very aggressive there against Shazrin Reza. But Shazrin, on the other hand, is not going to be too phased about it, despite the gaps staying at 5/10 of a second, half a second. 11 laps complete, by the way, here in Montreal, in the Montreal Super Prix Split B race. The race is still pretty much on, and right now the idea is to not fall down into sleep, or rather get your focus interrupted, as Javier Lusby now responsible for another fastest lap on the zone, 1:27.082 for the Uruguayan driver. Inside, Shazrin Reza goes. Well, when I mean down the inside, it's mostly just a natural movement in the corner. As you can see here, Javier Lusby manages to make the move against Shazrin Reza. Catches Shazrin Reza absolutely unaware. Where did that move come from Lusby? Some might say it's just literal move down the inside here against Shazrin Reza, who's basically broke a bit too late. Oh, you can see here, yeah, Shazrin Reza absolutely broke too late here there, coming into turn. So turns 5 and 6. Anyways, Shazrin Reza is not gonna have to, at the very least, maintain his podium finish right now. He's currently in 3rd. Of course, he doesn't have a lot of experience racing these international cars. He's had a lot of experience racing Japan, the Formula Hall Japan cars. Meanwhile, as you can see, Shazrin Reza is on board showcasing his Pebbles helmet, something that he has not showcased in the Himura Luna helmet. Is you can see here the Pebbles design in the front of the car to tell everyone that he is essentially a pebble, but he insists that he's a proxy pebble. Not really a pebble, because he may act like he's a pebble, but he's actually not. He's representing Kozeki though, so that's going to be something else. That's a very nice helmet there from Shazrin. Anyways, looks like I'm still audible in the commentary stream. And so anyways, again, we would like to open the live chat to any questions and answers. I'll try to respond as well as I can, as usual. Anyway, Shazrin Reza now trying to find something against Lusby. You can see here Lusby has gone wide, and there's going to be another battle here between Shazrin Reza and Lusby. Really stretching their legs here between the two. And you can see here they're still going side by side here, coming into the final corner. Ooh, and Lusby manages to stay around the inside of the final corner, but he's compromised his exit. Shazrin's gonna get very close into turn 1 as they're gonna start lap 15, but unfortunately Lusby is able to defend against Shazrin Reza there by virtue of being just ahead. Just ahead. Anyways, Shazrin Reza needs to find something against Lusby. And as for Corey Rico Mendez, he's maintained a gap of 8.8 seconds against Shazrin Reza though. Special battles at the back, Willis versus Elise, Sven Jensen versus Nishimi Chan. Here's the battle at the back, Sven Jensen. He would like to have a win in a points-paying race. He did win overall in the 2024 Capture the Moment Split B race at Fuji Speedway. Same goes for Renato Santiago, who won the Split B race, won the Split C race. 14 laps complete, and that should almost be the first third stage done. Much of the race still to go. Ben Jensen chasing Nichimi-chan right now. And almost going into the back, but manages to keep the car under control. But now you can see here, Jensen really trying to find something, but again doesn't find anything. And speaking of which, I'll show off the fastest lap of the race so far, 127.024. Very, very nice to see here from the Kaila Kowalski driver. Ooh, I'll sure. Just trying to push as much as he could. Just going to push as much as he can. Trying to get close to Bernardo Santiago once again. And speaking of Santiago and Luspi, Ame and Zeta, who performed in Hachamasa's birthday live concert earlier last night, has had their drivers currently inside the top 5. Oh, and that's Corey Rico Mendez. Looks like he's made contact with someone. Looking at the tire marks, he has made contact with someone, and that's going to be his race almost over. But he's going to try to get himself back in. He's able to get himself back in. He's lost a lot of positions, but he's able to continue. That was a hard attack and a half. Honestly, for the KFP employees, well, for Markman and Elise and Williams, they should be very happy with this as they've gained a net 1 position. Here's Santiago about to cross the line. Currently 4th place, not in a position to get the fastest lap of the race. Meanwhile, we have Shadow Reza still within a second behind Javier Luspi. Reza really trying to find something against Luspi at the moment, but right now nothing is of note. 16 laps complete. That should be about the first third of the race concluded. Shadow Reza again continues his pursuit, but he's been losing a good amount of time against Luspi. Just about except here. Meanwhile, we have Don Elise trying to catch up to Tyler Williams. And then we have Sven Jensen now getting very, very close there to Nichimi-chan, nearly making contact. There's Sven Jensen against Nichimi-chan. But Jensen manages to continue on forward. Meanwhile, as Jensen continues to pile on the pressure on Michan as well as Ellis against Williams, let's give a bit of a, how do we say this? Fun fact for a Hololive member. I'm not sure what fun fact we should give to a Hololive member, and especially who we should be giving, but I would like to hear any suggestions. But ideally, I wanted to involve the 14 Hololive members represented in this race. Anyways, back on topic. Potential talks about let me see. Fuawa and Mokoko. Nichimi-chan, of course, representing Fuawa Biscard, and Chanel Markman representing Mokoko Biscard. Usually the drivers may have different interests to a Hololive member. I'm not sure if Nichimi-chan likes Natto or not, because Fuawa is favored personnel when it comes to Natto, which is the dried soybeans thingy, which is the soybean food that's served in Japan. I'm not sure Nichimi-chan would like natto. Well, I know for sure that Mokoko doesn't like natto, and I'm not sure Chanel Markman likes natto. So that is your fun fact for Hololive for the next foreseeable future. And by next foreseeable future, I mean the next few minutes or so, as the race continues to progress on its own like this, with not much of a battle. Anyways, Almeida Alashore getting close to Tyler Williams, or rather, Almeida Alashore getting close to Bernardo Santiago. It's definitely a much calmer race than what we saw in Yeongnam, and sometimes it's rightfully so, as these drivers have been waiting for this moment for 2 hours. And finally they're able to get themselves in a position for them to, you know, get something done here in Montreal despite waiting for 2 hours. Oh, goes off wide there, Santiago, but manages to defend up to this point. He's pulling away against El Ashore, which is also a good thing. But at the same time, El Ashore is kind of gaining, which is not going to be an argument against Santiago. Oh, really trying to stretch the car to its limits there, Santiago, but he's too far back. We got Williams, Elise trying to chase El Ashore and Santiago. Sven Jensen also doing his part. Speaking of where is Zeke Wimberly right now? He's currently at the chicane, so the possibility of lap cars is gonna be a lot. Going back onto this on board here, Zeke Wimberly is on a very serious position to get these lap cars, Sven Jensen and Nichimi-chan. Let's talk about Yuri Rafael de Oliveira, the better, as he's essentially crashed out on the first lap. Very, very disappointing for the Marathas, but it's still a proud achievement for Yuri Rafael, as he, of course, represents Pavoli Arena in Formula Hololive international competitions. Meanwhile, we got Don Elise and Tyler Williams going side by side. Watch them as they go double abreast in this main, or rather back straight here. You can see here Tyler Williams using the momentum he gets from the slipstream to try to get something against Don Elise, but Elise is only slightly ahead, and I think she's able to defend. Great racing action between the two that shows you why they're here in Formula Hololive International. Here's Tyler Williams trying to chase again Don Elise. But again, they're still quite a distance away from each other. We still have Almeida Alashore continuing his run against Santiago, but the gaps here have now opened up to mostly a second, over a second between each other, except Jensen and Michan. So this is the best potential battle that we might want to watch. So let's take a focus right here. Zeke Wimberly continues to lead this race. Lusby second, Shadrin Reza third, Santiago fourth, Alashore fifth, Elise sixth, Williams seventh, Markman eighth, Mendez ninth, and Tayo inside the top 10. Doing a very good race there, Tayo, despite only being inside the top 10. But then again, you are guaranteed to finish inside the points in the split rounds. So Tayo is going to need to make use of this opportunity whenever she can, to make sure that she's got a good haul for her to defend her championship position in the future. Here's braking into the final chicane. But anyways, let's get back into the situation, as fatigue is really starting to kick in. Just cruising it there, Shitayo. Now, I'm not really sure if we're able to red flag this race and continue this race in the next few hours, but we're gonna see if is there any chance for me to do something. Or the case is, I'm fatigued as hell right now, but whatever. Zeke Wimberly gets the fastest lap of the race so far, 1:26.904. Continues to put up an immaculate performance here. He's looking to grab his record extending 5th win in all aero competitions, and also his 4th win in Formula Hololive International and his 5th win in Formula Hololive overall. Surely, since his debut for Sarah's Fauna, he's just been a killer. Absolutely hounding for a point, absolutely hounding for every race win opportunities. And looking into his previous 3 wins, he has essentially converted his pole into a win in the recent Super Break, where he's also not, he also doesn't pit in those races. So he's just showcasing the best he can do right now. Meanwhile, the eyes are currently on Zeke, who's currently still leading this race. As Zeke continues to get something off of this. Anyways, right now everyone's gap is now open up to 3 seconds, and I'm not sure if I'm able to do something when it comes to opening up talking opportunities. I will still try to keep myself commentating, as right now there's really not much happening, as you can see here. If we're looking at potential battles here, Williams chasing Don Elise, Charlie Markman chasing Tyler Williams. See if anything comes out of this. Sheldon Rizzo continuing to keep this car on the track, and of course there's already wear in the rear end, but the front end is taking a lot of beating. That's because this is a very front limited circuit, as they might call it, where the fronts are used more than the rears, and this is what you see on the front. Just a lot of wear and tear on the front left and the front right, and then you compare it to the rear end, and it's a bit it's a bit cleaner, you can see here. So you're going to be expecting some pretty interesting oversteer due to the changes of setup. Will it be as extreme as we may see in the I can't really find any more analogies here. My brain is just trying to shut itself down in every possibility it can find. But I'm just trying to keep myself up. At the halfway stage has already passed, with 24 laps already completed. Now we're just gonna see if what the other 24 has in store for us. Again, if anyone is still here in the chat room watching this stream, hello everyone. This is the Formula Hololive International 2024-2025 season. We're hosting this race here in the Montreal circuit, Gilles-Villeneuve, for Split B of the Split B qualifiers. Well, not Split B qualifiers, but it is Split B for back at the barnyard. Why am I saying back at the barnyard? It just came out of my mind. But anyways, what was I talking about? Oh my goodness, am I sleep talking? Man, I really need to find a new commentator here as I'm just trying to get myself back in focus here. Shadowreza, of course, still representing Koseki Bijou in the number 14 car, which Shadowreza's favorite number is number 14. Anyways, we're here in Montreal for round 1 of the Formula Hololive International season for the 24-25 season. It's for Split B. Split A has already raced in Montreal about the better of 14 to 15 hours ago, and now it's Split B's turn, and right now Split B's race is currently underway. Apologies for the sudden references and yapping that I've talked about earlier. In some cases, why am I talking about back at a barnyard in the middle of this race? Well, I was watching the auto contest clip and it was so funny. That's all. I could elaborate on that. But anyways, let's not get ourselves carried away, as right now we might see a potential battle between Sven Jensen and Nichi Michan, but of course there's not much to talk about. You can see Gimli right now, he's currently in the back straight, or rather inside the main straight, so lap cars are going to play a part here in Montreal. So please keep on watching this stream, because there's going to be some excitement coming into the final stages of this race. How much will Gilles-Villeneuve be blocked against Sven Jensen and Nichi Michan, and will he be able to pass them quickly? That's going to be the big question that may have a lot of question marks. But it looks to me that the answer is going to be revealed pretty soon. And by pretty soon, I mean in the next 10 laps, where we have about 21 laps to go. Perfect. But anyways, Gilles-Villeneuve now with a 12-second lead over Lusby, who's at a near 4-second lead against Shadowreza. So Shadowreza needs to find 16 seconds in order to catch up to Wimberley and Lusby, especially Wimberley. And right now, here's Jensen in the back straight alongside Nichi Michan, now coming into the chicane. Here's Zeke Wimberley. So the issue of lap cars will be coming in thick and fast, and they will come within the next 5 laps. Here's the updated timing for you. Anyway, Zeke Wimberley now reignites his fastest lap aspiration with 1:26.771, as he's now chasing the rest of the pack. Lusby and Shadowreza just have no response against Wimberley's previous lap. And so right now Wimberley's on the attack. So right now, while the drivers in second and third are left helpless against Zeke Wimberley's charges, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be a win secure for the sapling driver. Remember, Michan and Jensen are still up in front of Wimberley, and they could pose trouble for Zeke Wimberley. Oh, and they're really getting closer. Sven Jensen against Nichi Michan. That will definitely be very beneficial to Wimberley. Very, very convenient for Zeke Wimberley, if you want to use that word. Anyways, Michan continues to hang on in 12. Jensen 13. And Tanaro is having a pretty lonely race in 11th place. Not what Gigi Marie would be aiming for. You know, Shitayo would would be happy that she will be getting a top 10, at least so far. But the next target is points finishes inside the next few rounds. Of course, the next round for Formula Hololive International is the Breaking Dimensions Grand Prix at Lime Rock Park, where we got the EN class cars and ID class cars, all 20 of them racing alongside each other for supremacy in the first Grand Prix race of the Formula Hololive International season. 28 laps complete. Less than 20 laps to go, and still there's a lot to talk about. Here is Shinochi Tayo continuing on her run as usual. Sven Jensen currently 13th, and now Zeke Wimberly is hot on the heels of Jensen right now. He's going to be set to be the first driver on track to get lapped by Zeke Wimberly. But let's see, on the other hand, how much these two drivers will be able to block Wimberly's advancement. You can see here the block is pretty good. Wimberly has to find another avenue of attack. 129.37, 128.142. If Lusby Shazrin can still set 127, then they will be gaining a second a lap against Wimberly. And again, that will mean that the door will have been open again for potential overtake. 127.081 for Lusby. How much is at 127.751. So you can see here, lots of gains to be found for Lusby and Shazrin, and especially for Lusby, as he's going to be aiming for his first win in Formula Hololive international competitions. Obviously, he has taken over the. He's taken the. What do we call it? The Vesta ride. He's taking the Vesta ride, replacing Kate Garcia after the Capture the Moment Grand Prix weekend, and the Fifth Fest weekend for Hololive. And right now, he is showing to PDRM that he is a seriously talented driver when the opportunities arise. Wait, did I fall asleep again? But anyways, looking back at the Nichi Michan ride. Wait, am I talking about Nichi Michan, or are we talking about Javier Lusby? Yeah, I'm talking about Javier Lusby, yeah. Javier Lusby represents Vesta Zeta. His debut race was in the Spielberg Grand Prix, where he finished third in his maiden Formula Hololive race. He's gonna go one up himself if he's able to stay in second place here in Canada. Anyways, I was supposed to talk about a different thing about Nichi Michan, who is currently representing Fuawa Biscard, one half of Fuamoco in the 24-25 Formula Hololive international season. 30 laps complete, 17 laps to go. Still a lot to play for. Here's Jensen continuing to chase against Michan, but the gaps dropped down to 2.1 seconds. And crucially for Jensen, he is actually blocking Zeke Wimberly's progression from going even further. And if the frustration continues for Wimberly and he's continuing to be blocked, then Javier Lusby and Mohamed Reza are going to be in serious position to make it a 2-horse race or 3-horse race for the race lead and for this Montreal Super Prix win. Oh, really trying to fling himself at it, but he's just too far back. Looks pretty decent so far as Wimberly continues to find any nook and cranny that he can find against Sven Jensen, but Jensen is just channeling his inner Norwegian defense, and that's really nice to see. Anyways, gaps dropped down to 7 seconds between Lusby and Wimberly. It was at 12 seconds. It's now dropped down to 7 seconds as Wimberly continues to lose touch against Jensen. And here's another fun fact: Wimberly has actually used a good amount of tires, so much so that when it comes to catching up to lap cars, he just isn't able to pass the other lap cars. That just begs the idea of a youth project. Again, what am I saying here? Anyways, Javier Lusby is now catching up into Zeke Wimberly's gap. It's now dropped down to 6.2 seconds. Oof. Anyways, again, I apologize if the commentator goes awry, it goes haywire. I'm just trying my best to keep a sane mind as I am currently being deprived of sleep. So please bear with me here as I'm gonna continue hosting this race. Again, nice to see a good amount of viewers coming in. Please respond anything in the live chat so that I can keep myself up while I read the thoughts from fans. As you can see here, Wimberly really trying to fling his car at it against Van Jensen. Anyways, Wimberly against Sven Jensen, still nothing to come out, and now the gaps drop down to 5.5 seconds. And you can see here the previous lap for Zeke Wimberly, I believe, was in the 129s, and compare that to Javier Luzbi's 127.2s, 127.1s, and all that. Luzbi's now gaining 2 seconds per lap on Wimberly, and we're gonna be setting this race up for a very, very cracking finale. It's currently evening now. The sun is absolutely setting here in Montreal. And also at the same time, Chandler has now dropped the gaps down to 4.8 seconds against Javier Luzbi. Oh, really attacking there, Zeke Wimberly, but it's just not enough. He's just going to keep on losing time. Just look at the amount of time lost by Zeke Wimberly here. Ooh. Here's Javier Luzbi trying to cross the line, 127.576, with Zeke Wimberly stuck in the 129. This is one of in these high-speed corners. This will be where Luzbi and Saturday is able to claw as much time as possible. Saturday now, I believe, has a fast lap, or was that Almeida Show 126.722? Now he has a fastest lap for Kaela Kowalska. The blacksmith currently is the fastest on track. Gaps drop down 4.3 seconds between Luzbi and Wimberly. The battle for the race lead is now on. Lap cars absolutely showing their mettle against the lead lap cars, and of course Wimberly may grow impatient if he really patient there, Zeke Wimberly. This will haunt him in the near future as the gaps now drop down to 3.7 seconds. But you can see here Luzbi is absolutely enjoying this moment. Chandra is also enjoying this moment. The battle for the race lead has now opened itself again by virtue of Sven Jensen and Nichi Michan's back marker pace, but just refusal to let a Wimberly go. Again, no proper blue flag rules in Assetto Corsa, so bear with us here. We're just trying to make do with what we have. Again, a failed attempt of an overtake against Zeke Wimberly. They have dropped down to less than 4 seconds. Almeida Show continues fastest lap run 126.685. Anyways, we are at 34 laps complete, 13 laps to go. Still very much on for everyone here to continue racing as usual. .34 laps complete, 13 laps to go in this Montreal Super Prix Split B race on round 1 of the Formula Hololive International season. We're about to conclude round 1 with the winning driver crossing the finish line, and of course every other driver finishing this race in Split B here in Montreal. And now Wimberly and Luzbi's gap have now opened itself a bit. It's now dropped back to 3.5. We're going to see another crazy drop here. It's now at 3.5 seconds. As you can see, Sven Jensen now sets his personal best, 128.068. Javier Luzbi is only able to respond by a 0.5 of a second, half a second faster of a lap than Zeke Wimberly. So now the rate of not of which Luzbi is able to catch Wimberly is now slowed down considerably. Here's Jensen, who's able to finally pick up the pace here. He's suddenly turned up the turn up his car to 11. Meanwhile, Jensen and Wimberley continue to cause troubles for each other. Wimberley just wants to race his own race and just finish the job here on the racetrack. And Sven Jensen, on the other hand, is gonna try to make a valiant defense for Iris and the aristocrats watching, despite being the last car out on track. Oh, there is contact between Wimberley and Lusby, and Lusby's lost a lot of time. Sergeant Reza is now in a position to catch himself up to both Lusby and Wimberley, but Sergeant Reza really needs to make these moves count. Wimberley still stuck behind Sven Jensen, who just refuses to let his 13th place and most importantly his late lap status go. And down the inside goes Zeke Wimberley. Oh, nearly, and I mean nearly, pushing himself to a crash as he almost made contact with Sven Jensen. He has opened up to 4.7 seconds. It looks like it was a mistake on Javier Lusby's end. Chazan Reza, now we've absolutely worn our front end. Everyone has worn out front ends, but the rear end is pretty pristine so far, rear left at the very least. But as for the rear right, it's not gonna look pretty. Anyways, we are about to get into 10 laps to go here in Montreal. As you can see here, oh, that's Javier Lusby overshooting the corner very wildly. And Sheldon Reza is going to be sure to seize this opportunity for as much as he can. On board car number 14 in Hololive GT3, Mohammed Sheldon Reza. He's going to try to get close to Javier Lusby once again. The speed trap says is that he has a 275 kilometers an hour coming into the speed trap. So that's that. Anyways, Sheldon Reza is actually faster than Javier Lusby, but a bit slower than Zeke Wimberley. Is Sven Jensen still ahead of Zeke Wimberley? The answer is yes, but Sven Jensen at the very least has picked up the pace. Jensen continues to stay ahead against Zeke Wimberley. Wimberley is a bit frustrated. He's not being let go. Saying it's probably the worst thing ever or something. But anyways, Sheldon Reza and Javier Lusby is gonna make sure that what Wimberley feared is gonna be a reality by winning this race here in Montreal. And now Sheldon Reza really making his move count. It's gonna be the outside. It's gonna be the inside for Sheldon Reza to make a move down the inside at the hairpin, and it's almost gonna be smooth sailing for Sheldon Reza. But Javier Lusby has something to say about it. We're gonna stay in this onboard to show you where Lusby is. He's not alongside just yet. Sheldon Reza has a slight advantage in the corners, but not much in the straights. And now you see here Lusby on the outside of Sheldon Reza at turn 12. Almost beats Sheldon Reza, but Sheldon Reza is going to be initiating this counterattack, this outside line. Switching to the inside line, it usually works, but now Javier Lusby manages to defend. Nine laps to go. Sheldon Reza continues to find a chink in the armor for Javier Lusby to make sure that he gets a very good Formula Hololive International point position. His last finish, well, his best finish, of course, was second place in the Ontario Grand Prix last season, the 23-24 Formula Hololive International season. But anyways, here is Assetto Corsa just continuing to mind his own business and just trying to find a way past Javier Lusby again. You can see here Javier Lusby has gone wide at the hairpin once again, and now Assetto Corsa is going to think of an inside, maybe an outside move. Slipstream, 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 inside line at just the right time this time to cause possibly some trouble for Lusby, but Lusby is not flinching. Amazing stuff. Sven Jensen now sets a 1:27.791. That lap time is out of nowhere. Now Sven Jensen is going to be stuck behind a slow Nichi Michan, and Zeke Wimberly is going to be stuck behind. Again, this battle for the lead here in these final 8 laps is currently hot on the topic. Both Lusby and Assetto Corsa are catching Zeke Wimberly at a rate of knot right now, with Sven Jensen now stuck behind Sven Jensen. Sven Jensen is going to try a valiant effort to keep himself on the lead lap. Here comes Lusby and Assetto Corsa trying to get things done. It's going to be a battle for the race lead amongst 3 drivers, Wimberly, Lusby, and Assetto Corsa. For the latter 2 drivers, they have yet to win a Formula Hololive International race. But for Zeke Wimberly, he's going to go for his record-extending 4th for Sarasvana and the 5th in Formula Hololive International overall. And you can see here, Assetto Corsa now goes down the inside of Javier Lusby once again, but this time it's almost going to be permanent, exiting the hairpin. Assetto Corsa manages to stay ahead. Will it be Assetto Corsa has made him win here in Canada, or will it be Wimberly's record-extending 5 wins? If Assetto Corsa wins here, then he will match Zeke Wimberly's all-time Formula Hololive win record, and will also match Zeke Wimberly's Formula Hololive. Well, he will actually match the win record for Formula Hololive in general. But anyways, has Wimberly passed Sven Jensen? Sven Jensen, the answer is gonna be no. Meanwhile, looking at their driver Santiago, currently up in 4th place now. Very great stuff there for the teammate. Ella Shorty now in 5th place for the Pomalo. Ella 6, and then Williams 7th in his Formula Hololive International debut for Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame. We have Chanel Markman, of course, representing Mokoko Biscard, Nichimi-chan representing Forwa Biscard. Mixed fortunes for the Hall of Justice entries, and now you can see here down the inside finally goes Zeke Wimberly, but I expect Sven Jensen to give a lively response to try to make sure Zeke Wimberly loses a lot more time. But Zeke Wimberly is gonna thinks he has a faster car, so he's gonna try to attack Sven Jensen around the outside. But Jensen manages to keep Wimberly honest. And manages to defend around the inside, but it has to be the outside. And of course, he's gonna almost lose it, and he has lost the status as elite lap car, Sven Jensen. But that doesn't really matter because the rest of the pack has come into play. With 6 laps to go here in Montreal, anything can still happen. Anything has happened, anything happens, and anything will still happen. Anything could have happened, anything can happen, and anything still can happen. Oh, you can see here, Sonoda tries to defend against Javier Lusby, and almost absolutely so, and Sven Jensen is going to try to attack once again. Meanwhile, we have Tyler Williams making an overtake against Don Elise. Meanwhile, Sven Jensen is causing trouble against Zeke Wimberly. Zeke Wimberly says, I don't want this. He wants to maintain this race lead, but right now lap cars are causing a lot of trouble. Meanwhile, Javier Lusby is going to go around the inside against Assetto Corsa on a rematch on what has been an entertaining battle between the old and the new. Charlie Reza manages to defend his second place for now, but will it be long lasting as Lusby is going to have the inside line in turn 2? And crucially, that's going to be the case. But Lusby and Charlie Reza is going to still remain side by side. That is a very, very nice racing move here. As you can see here, Zeke Wimberly still stays in between Sven Jensen and Nichimi-chan, and almost hitting the wall there, Javier Lusby. Charlie Reza is going to still stay around the inside at turns 5 and 6. Coming to slight cane, turn 7. Charlie Reza still got something in the car. He's going to try to make sure at the very least that he's able to replicate his best finish in Formula Hololive International. He stays where he is right now. Will Sven Jensen have anything to say against Zeke Wimberly this time? For Reza, he needs to make a move against Jensen really quickly if he wants to mark his credentials pretty soon. And here comes Charlie Reza against Sven Jensen. Charlie Reza has a pretty good launch against Sven Jensen here. He's going to make you to the slipstream. Also at the same time, Javier Lusby is going to be making you to the slipstream. Down the inside goes Javier Lusby. Meanwhile, Rico Mendez and Chanel Markman making moves coming into the second chicane. Charlie Reza has to fend off against Javier Lusby, and now Javier Lusby is able to make the pass. The battle for the race lead is starting to simmer down as Zeke Wimberly continues to build the gap against himself and Sven Jensen. And now Nichimi-chan gets pushed into the mix. Anyway, for the rest of the drivers, Nichimi-chan and Sven Jensen currently 12th and 13th. And right now, Nichimi-chan is going to try to fend off Zeke Wimberly for as long as he can. Sven Jensen is not cooperating with Javier Lusby and Charlie Reza. Of course, Sven Jensen is only marginally slower than Cesarin and Javier. Open up once again. Lusby and Wimberly, as the result, Sven Jensen holding the field up. Meanwhile, has Zeke Wimberly and Nichimi-chan going side by side. Could this be the move that clinches it for Wimberly? Nichimi-chan is still ahead. Zeke Wimberly has something to say about it. Wimberly, if he stays on the inside, coming into this chicane, then it will be the outside line and the inside line coming into the turns 1 and 2. So watch your line. This is going to be very important here. For 3 laps to go here in Montreal. Finally, the action is piping up, and right now it's looking very good here for Zeke Wimberly. And looks like he has already passed Nichimi-chan from the looks of things. No is the answer, as Wimberly is still struggling to get past Nichimi-chan. Charlie Reza, Javier Lusby trying to catch Sven Jensen, and now you see here Ronald Santiago is now in the mix for this podium battle. It just shows you how much those lap cars have how much those lap cars have a say in the race order. Again, thank Kuno's flawed implementation of the blue flag rule in Assetto Corsa, but whatever. They still have good qualities, yes. Anyway, Reza now goes down the inside against Javier Lusby. Javier Lusby gets pushed off wide. Reza is also trying to wide line here to try to get as much momentum as possible. For Zeke Wimberly, the Nature's Healing was not fully complete as he wasn't able to win the championship last season. Now he's going to try his luck to make sure that he's able to get himself in championship contention, or rather get himself at the top of the standings for the overall title, to be tied with Hanari Miyuki, and he will be said to be the first EN class car to win this season. Talk about parity. Anyways, the Saplings hold Zeke Wimberly in the highest of standards, and of course Zeke Wimberly is going to be delivering on such high standards. He said it himself, If he doesn't perform, he's gonna get peeled. Well, it's not verbatim, but it is in a sort of paraphrase. But that's the idea of the. Well, that's the idea of him. Of course, the saplings, of course, have high standards against, well, for Wembley, and for at the very least, Wembley is able to meet them on. And currently, he is en route to his 4th Formula Hololive International win for Sarasvana. What a bump! What a bump and run move attempt by Wembley against Nichi Michan, but Nichi Michan is going to be holding steadfast against Zeke Wembley, but for how much longer? Zeke Wembley peeling down the inside of Michan. Michan managing to have a very clean line off of the final corner, coming into the final lap of the race. Coming into the final lap of the Montreal Super Prix Split B race. Round 1 of the Formula Hololive International season will be set to conclude right here, right now in this lap. Javier Lusby is continuing to beat Sheldon Reza. As it stands, Javier Lusby is going to be scoring his best ever finish in Formula Hololive competitions. Bernardo Santiago and Yamane Lasho will be happy with 4th and 5th. Williams will be enjoying the 6th place run for Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame for Hololive Justice. As a debut, as in his Formula Hololive International debut, and as a guest entry no less than as a Markman, 8th and 9th, as another guest entry, another full-time driver, finally making his full-time run. Chanel Markman in 9th, down in list 7th for Ollie, Mendes 8th for Chiara, Tayo 10th, and Tanner 11, Nichi Michan 12, Sven Jensen 13th, Rafael Oliveira 14th. That's not gonna matter. Zeke Wembley is going to continue his run of dominance in Formula Hololive and Formula Hololive International. If he, once he crosses the line, he's going to make it 4 for Sarasvana, 4 for the Saplings, 1 for Okami Mio, 1 for the Miofa, 5 in Formula Hololive total. Zeke Wembley just needs a final corner to deal with for him to really cement himself as one of Formula Hololive's greats. The impromptu sapling Zeke Wembley is going to cross the line here in Montreal to win the Montreal Super Prix Split B race for Sarasvana and the Saplings. Javier Lusby finishes 2nd, Sheldon Reza 3rd. As we've confirmed, Lusby will have his best ever finish in aero competitions. Congratulations to the podium sitters. Santiago should also be given a round of applause. Alashore 5th, Williams 6th, Ellie 7th, Menes 8th, Markman 9th, Tayo 10th, and Tanara 11th. And then we had Nichi Michan 12th and Sven Jensen rounding out the top, running up the finishers here. Biggest gainers, Kinochi Tayo, who started 13th, is now up into 10th. Last drivers who have yet to cross the line. We still have Nichi Michan, who is still yet to finally finish this race. Same goes for Chanel Markman, who has already crossed the line. And then we have Tayo, who's crossing the line, who is going to confirm her 10th place. Alston Charo, just the final chicane left. Nichi Michan has the straight and the chicane left as well. Sven Jensen will be the first driver to go a lap down. And of course we have Rafael Oliveira, who was involved in the crash at the start. And we're just going to wait for Nichi Michan to cross the line to finally seal the deal. And that is the deal being sealed. But now before we get this thing done first, but anyways, let's take a look into the race results here. Zeke Wembley takes the win here for Sarasvana and the Saplings for the 4th time in his aero career and for the first time this season. Congratulations to Zeke Wembley for this achievement. He wins the... Excuse me, as the Assetto Corsa is not responding. So we're just going to show you the top 10 at the moment. It's Zeke Wembley winning the Montreal Super Prix Split B race, ahead of Javier Lusby and Mohamed Reza in 3rd, Bernardo Santiago 4th, Ahmed Alashore 5th, Tyler Williams 6th. They represent Sarasvana, Vishazeta, Koseki Biju, Watson Emilia, Kyle Kowalskia and Elizabeth Rose Bloodford respectively. Don Enlis finishes 7th for Crazy Ollie with Koyurika Mendes 8th. for Takahashi Kara. Chanel Markman finishes 9th for Mokoko Biscuit, with Hinochi Tayo running out of top 10 for Hoshino Vamuna. 11th place goes to Alton Tara for Gigi Marin, with 12th place going to Nishimi-chan for Fuwawa Biscard. 13th place goes to Sven Jensen for Iris, and 14th place goes to Yuri Rafael de Oliveira for Pavoli Rene. Unfortunately, he was involved in an accident, and it's just unfortunate. And unfortunately, with the Assetto Corsa almost crashing, at least we're able to go to the championship standings here to show you what is the running order after the first round of the season. Here's the Split B rankings here, although they will be merged with Split A. So anyway, Wimberley will be taking this all-important 200 points coming into the Breaking Dimensions Grand Prix at Lime Rock Park. We'll be explaining to you about the format in due course. So Javier Lusby second, Chavez third with these amount of points shown on your screen. And then we have Bernardo Santiago and Amela Shore 4th and 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, settled by Tyler Williams, Don Elise, Corey Mendez, Chanel Markman, and Hinochi Tayo. And then we have Alton Tarao, Nichimi-chan, Sven Jensen running at 11th, 12th, 13th, and there's a bit of an error here. Rafael de Oliveira is actually 14th with 4 points. The safety car is not even in this championship battle. And with that out of the way, we'd like to thank everyone for being patient with us. We had a bit of an internet issue. We were supposed to start at 1 a.m., but thanks to some light work with some timing, we were able to get this race still held on the same day. For those who stuck around, we'd like to thank you for your commitment to continue supporting us throughout the highs of highs and lows of lows. Anyways, with that being said, let's thank everyone and the drivers involved and the organization for getting this race, getting these races to happen. With that out of the way, round 1 has finally come to an end. We'll be sharing with you the championship standings and race results of the Split B race on due course on Twitter and YouTube. Please stay tuned on those channels to find out more information on the championship battle. With that being said, we would like to thank everyone for tuning into the stream. If you like this stream, please leave a like. If you want to see more of these racing, please drop a subscription on our channel. And if you don't want to miss any streams, feel free to hit the notification bell. Anyways, I'm Muhammad Shazan Reza in the commentary booth, and you've been watching round 1 of the 2024-2025 Formula Hololive International season. It's a Montreal Grand Prix Split B race that has just happened, and now we'll try to see you next week for the Formula Hololive Japan Suyozako Round 2 weekend on top of the Super Prix, and the next 2 weeks it will be the Breaking Dimensions Grand Prix at Lime Rock Park. We'll see you there.